Alright, so today we're going to make a hand-built cup or a mug. It's going to be about 4 inches tall, and the slab that we're going to make is about 10 inches long, and then later I'll show you how to make a pulled handle. Okay, so we first start out, always get your clay, wedge it. Alright, after you wedge it a couple times, take your clay, use the table to flatten it out a little bit. Use your palm to flatten it out. Make sure you pick your clay up off the table. Flatten it on the other side so that way your clay doesn't stick to the table. Alright, so now once this is a little bit shorter, we could put this in between our two thickness strips. When you get your thickness strips, make sure it says the same size on each. So this is 1/4 and this is also 1/4. So put these on the outside of your clay, and then you're going to use your regular rolling pin and start from the center and push up. And you're not pushing down too hard, you're just rolling outwards and in different directions. Always make sure you pick up your clay, move it, so that way it doesn't stick. The other side. If you see an air pocket, it'll look kind of like that. You're going to get your needle tool and you need to pop it. Okay. If there's something in your clay, just take it out. It's a little piece of paper or something. Air pockets, pop it. So you want to keep rolling until you get to the thinness of your thickness strips. All right. Alright, so now with your metal rib, you could smooth out your clay. Make sure there's no air pockets. You could even smooth out your clay with a damp sponge. That works too. Alright, so we want our cup to be 4 inches wide or 4 inches tall, so we're going to measure out 4 inches. I prefer to use a clear roller. I think the clear rollers work better, or it's easier to see through your clay. Measure out 4 inches, make sure your line is straight. And when you do this with the needle tool, don't press down all the way at first, just lightly draw into the clay. And then you want this to be 10 inches long. Make sure your roller is straight and lightly draw into the clay. Okay. Now we'll do the other side. 10 inches long. And then close it in at 4 inches at the other end. Okay, if your measurement is off, be sure you redo it. There you go. There. Alright, so now we're gonna put texture. I have all these different textured rollers in here. There's ones with fishes, there's decorative, flowery ones. You just have to look through here, find which type of decorative design you would like. Okay, so I think we're gonna go with this one. It's kind of a neat design. And I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna start before my slab starts, so that way I get a head start motion. Okay, so press in a little bit and you just keep rolling. There you go. Okay, so now we could cut our shape out. And now you can see the nice texture in the clay. Before I let this become a little bit leather hard, what I'm going to do is place this on my board, upside down. Make sure there's either a paper towel or a magazine or newspaper between your board and your clay. I'm going to decide which edge is going to be the bottom, so I'll just have it right here. And I'm going to cut this edge at a bevel with my needle tool. A bevel edge means it's slightly curved or at an angle. Okay, so cut that off. And I'm going to do that with my edges also. By cutting these edges at a bevel, it allows, when I connect it later, to have a nice smooth seam. Okay. Alright. And I want the inside to be smooth, so with my sponge, just very lightly, I'm going to wipe away all this table texture that I don't want on the inside of my cup. Okay, Now I'm gonna let this harden at the fan for a couple minutes, maybe 10 minutes, so it could become leather hard. So that way in a little bit we could be able to form our cup. Okay, so let's put this away in front of the fan. All right, now we have to make the base of our cup. So to do that, I'm going to use an actual cup, measure the bottom, and I'm gonna want about 3 inches in width for the base. And this is about that. So I'm gonna put it on my clay. Let's see if you guys can see that. Here, I'll move this down a little bit. So use the cup as the template, place it on top, use the needle tool to trace it. Now we could cut the circle shape out. All right, let's clean up the edges a little bit. Okay, so now we have our base. All right, so I'm gonna set this aside for a little bit and